And we're back. What's going on, everybody? It's been a lot of broad. Saw Anna just chatting away. Nathan Gary here, Anna Russell coming at you with some chase racing. We're on chase race number 8, A, B, C, D category. All battle in essentially massive team time trials against each other with handicaps. The D's go out first, the A's go out last, and we see what category can win. And then no holds barred. The gloves come off at the end for an individual. And I saw your chat. Phew, so much racing this week. Love it. Let's go. And I actually see a lot of chatter coming in from the riders. Some riders saying, could you please, who's going to race for me? Tom Fitzpatrick, one of the really instigators yesterday in some of the racing as well.
This chat, I'm having a look as well. There are so many people with tired legs out there, and I've huge props to them to get out on a start line. I am wrecked from ZRL. My quads are just absolutely burning. So I don't know. These guys are pretty impressive to be doing this again.
You said you really enjoyed racing yesterday. So Anna raced yesterday, everybody, in the Americas East with Team Riot. And I think you took like a podium in one of the sprints actually and grabbed some points.
Yeah, I was kind of running with the old just go out super early because that's what I'm seeing in the broadcast. Like if you just can go as hard as you can and you may not have the sprint, but you get out a little lead, kind of worked. I think I got 4th. So yeah, it was all right. Then like a slow kind of explosion. Got dropped, got back on, got dropped, got back on, and then yeah,
you guys almost got
race.
back. It was close at the end there. You know, I thought you were gonna bring out the whip and be like, Riot, you need to bring this back now. I saw keeping it real there. Jennifer kind of pushing the pace a little.
I know. Well, we won the teams, right? I mean, I think we've got a good little formula here where we've got a team that we may not win the races, but we're all like top 15 and that just does it, right? It doesn't work in ZRL to have and kind of like this chase racing, it doesn't work to have just a hero off the front and the rest of the team's, 50th place. You never win like that. So yeah, it's been good. I think this is the little magic sauce.
There you go. Well, Riot is doing well. Now we are jumping in, though, with the chase race. That's what's happening today. Tomorrow we'll be back with the TTT. But we got the B and the C category that we've jumped in with so far today. Something really awesome that Zwift has done is put these kits in game. Anna, what do you think of these kits? I think I always like to highlight them. And also one thing is that a lot of the people jumping into the broadcast, they've never seen this race before. They say, like even one of the comments that came up, always curious to do an event race like that. So, these races, I think, may be an attraction. And you were saying something that's between ZRL gets really, really popular, maybe a little bit lower numbers. I mean, the B category we saw first week, didn't we have like 300, 400, 500 riders in the first week when we first launched this?
Yeah, we had about 200 riders in Cat B, about 180 in Cat C. So I do actually kind of prefer when these groups are a little bit smaller like this because it's a bit more dynamic and people have to really put the work in. When you've got a group of 200, I mean, you can sit in the middle there and be invisible the entire time. And it's not kind of as fun when you're racing it because you don't have that, sense of, family a bit more. When it's a smaller group, you can kind of become friends with those around you virtually and actually start to work together. So I like it. I think it's going to be a bit more interesting now with especially the smaller group of Bs and Cs who we have seen dominating in recent weeks. They're going to have to work a lot harder. I've got my eyes on a few of the As at the moment and they're humming along at around 54K an hour. So they're going to start catching up and they've got a pretty reasonable group size as well.
Going through the B category, just going through this first sprint section here, as they're looking to catch up. Now, the nice comparison that we can do, and we are following along with the C's and the B's at the moment. These tend to be the categories that win, though, and aren't they? A lot of times, it's either B or C category, and B, I think, has dominated in some ways across the board. If we looked at the percentages, I think they've won the majority of the races out here.
Yeah, they have. I think there was that one sort of invisible flyaway D-Cat rider who took it out on sort of race number 3 or 4. But other than that, it's always been these sort of Bs and Cs who have kind of come together close to the line and then had that all-out sprint. But I have not seen an A-Cat win on this broadcast yet, and I have not seen No, that'll be it. We saw that D-Cat, yeah. So we're just holding out for that A-Cat win. I always kind of want to go for the underdog, so I will go for the A's tonight or today, just because I want to see that red jersey go across the line first, get that win, get a bit of confidence, and go into the next races wanting to take it out.
Definitely saw a little chat coming on through from Mark Baker saying they always love Anna's commentary. Anna, super popular out here today.
Right.
Not only Anna's got the calm job today a little bit more before the broadcast. She was like, man, it's so relaxing not having to do all the production. This is so great. I was like, yeah, like what I'm doing right now. Is that what
yeah. If anyone wants to have a little go at how hard it is to produce a race on that Neokyo course or anything on that Neokyo area, go in and do a fan view and then follow a race. It is so hard and so, I wouldn't say stressful, but like there is so many lights and so much going on. It's sort of like, yeah, it felt like you're in a nightclub. I don't know how you felt, Nathan, but I felt like I was buzzing out in a nightclub with kind of like music going. It was just insane.
Well, that's why we turned the rave music on. It's simply just because we've landed in Neokyo. So now looking through here, it does look like this B category is humming along at a solid 45 kilometers per hour. We'll see if we can get eyes here on the A category. Moving our way backwards a few
eyes. Yeah, I got eyes on the A. They're going 52k an hour, and I can see there's a lot of strung out Bs that they're pulling up at the moment. And we've got a pro rider in the group, Fitzpatrick here from Skylab. He's pushing 8 watts per kg on the front of this A group. He's in a slightly different kit. I'm not sure why. He's got his ZRL team category winners helmet on, so he has had a party. He is going hard. He probably raced yesterday, so this is phenomenal. The A's are strung out in a long pace line and they're going 50k an hour. They're looking really, really good. See also Dave Garge here on Twitch TV. So if you want to check him out, he's commenting. This is a motivated group of A's. I got to say, they are looking hot.
Tom Fitzpatrick, one to watch out for when it comes to any kind of major power action. Let's go ahead and jump on in with him. And the chase here. What is happening here? This is full gas. It looks like this is a small group though, 17 riders, but we've got VCRT here, Skylab from what we can see. It looks like moving toward the front, off the front now at this point, 5.6 watts per kilometer coming from our Unwin for GSV Innovation NB. He's got rides for like 50 teams, this guy. He's on the Tron bike. Walker pulling on through, it looks like 4.5 kilometers into their race. Let's go ahead and jump right down into some bigger scenes here. And bike selection looks like everybody here is pretty well dropped up. I don't know. There's a couple of bikes that look a little old school in here, though, or at least not at the top level.
I just saw Sean Fitzpatrick. Was he on an entry-level Zwift bike, the one moving to the front now? It looks like an entry Zwift. Look at that. That looks...
I wonder if that's on my end. What?
No, I see it too.
Really?
So something's happened there. He should not. I think that's a glitch because he's not in the right kit and he's got a disc, which means he's a high level and has a lot of drops. You would not be selecting that bike unless you were wanting to...
Why would you put those discs on that bike? It makes zero sense.
I mean, unless you were doing like a little bit of like added resistance training. Like I have, we did a race up to the top of the Alp and one of our teammates is really strong up climbs. And I was like, could you just ride the Buffalo bike? And then you'll be... maybe more at our level. So, I mean, he could be doing that, add a bit of resistance training to his schedule.
I think you're right that there's probably some sort of a load there, though, when it comes to what was being put into game for us across everybody. It does look like they're heading into Neokyo now. The cool thing about this course, the Wandering Flats, it's one of the coolest Mercury, in my opinion, one of the coolest Mercury Island courses. It does have a little bit of a climb when you head on over toward the temples. But you get to see pretty much all of what Mercury has to offer when it comes to the scenery. And you don't hit a lot of the climbs, obviously, as Fitzpatrick is pushing through. They're entering Mercury as well. Only 6.7. There's less than a kilometer.
700 meters back.
Yeah,
wow.
These guys are flying. 52 kilometers per hour. I haven't seen this kind of a push from an A category. What happened to this when I tried to do A category chase race? Where is this kind of organization? Fitzpatrick from Skylab killing it for the rest right now.
Oh, that's amazing. And I do, if you haven't seen the latest World of Zwift show, they do a background of the designers who built this Makuri Islands and Ryokyo. It's just phenomenal. And I've got to say, the courses that go between the two, I'm absolutely digging because you kind of have all the neon, all the lights, which just, is kind of crazy. And then you go into the trees and the cherry blossoms, and it's so relaxing. It's kind of like I said it last night, you get like a feast for your eyes, It's sort of not only are you working hard on the bike, you're just getting this amazing kind of feeling through the two worlds. So maybe I'm going a bit meta there, but yeah, I love it. These courses are great.
Dave Garge, good shout out there. He's been involved in almost all the broadcasts, actually, and jumping into a lot of Twitch streams, actually. Good to see Dave always, as he actually is throwing down a feather power-up. And they're going to be grabbing another one here in just a moment as they come through this sprint section, I believe. A little bit of a kick, actually, off the front. Why are these guys going for a sprint? They're just, I guess maybe just having some fun or trying to push the pace for the rest of everybody else. I guess that can instigate a little bit of a chase if you feel like the pack is not really doing their job. Christensen from DCC here now off the front a little bit. Laughlin, Scotty P there. Scotty P's been I think some leadership for sure when it comes to this B category, specifically in this zone. I'm seeing Irish is hanging out here in this mixed category of Bs. Good to see Irish from the Rave
Rave
team.
on.
Yeah, she was super instigating yesterday, actually, during her ZRL race.
You're doing the RaveCon this weekend, right?
Oh, yeah. RaveCon this weekend, we're going to be doing, and that's something that they are doing every Sunday with special guests. Have you been contacted, Anna?
Yes, I am doing. I got to pick which
I just made a huge assumption right there, put you on the spot.
Imagine if I hadn't, it'd be like not invited to the party.
Well, with the way that you said it, I was like, she had to have been invited. I totally took the big risk there, everybody.
Ooh, that could have been awkward. Yes, I'm going to be doing.
I would have just been like, auto invite. It's happening.
Oh, maybe I should come along to yours. Maybe learn a few little tricks of the trade there.
We need to do, and I think this is a great idea. If anybody isn't aware what Rave is doing, this is what's happening this Sunday, but it will be happening every Sunday throughout the ZRL. It is a look at the course recon with Team Rave, and a special guest will be alongside. They've got Discord open. I'll broadcast this on my personal channel, but with such a cool idea, maybe we'll get a little bit more happen around that in the future ZRL seasons. It does look like the B category here, 9.4 in. They have been catching some C's. We're going to move our way forward here. This is the main C group that we're looking at. Are they getting anywhere near the D's, or did the D's get a good enough head start that it may be risky here that they take this out? We still got 14K to go, though. Plenty of landscape to work with.
The D's have got a massive lead at the moment. So the A's are sort of onto the tail end of the B's and C's. I do think it's A's night. I think they will end up catching the B's. But the D's have got a massive lead. So it looks like the D's are sort of still about 3K ahead. And the D's are projected to ride this course a lot quicker than the others. So they're obviously having quite a good race out. There is, and this is always where the D's won't like it, there is a little bit of a bump in the road. Yeah, the climb. I think that's probably where they might face a little bit of a problem. But we'll see. I mean, that is where the A's are going to shine. So I think that is going to be the crux point of this race, seeing how it goes. And looking at Fitzpatrick there, I mean, geez, he is drilling it off the front, dropping the group though. Never the best.
That's a tough
I did actually
one.
Yeah, it's not the best strategy. Although watching his riding, I did have a thought. If you do an FTP test, I would come and do this race because you'll have people around you. There'll be lots of motivation, and you can just do what Fitzpatrick's doing now. Just kind of pull the group through, go real hard. So
just go into a chase race and drill it the whole time is essentially what Anna's saying. If at any moment you don't feel like you're working hard enough, go to the front and work harder, and then hold on when you're about to get dropped. Oh man, that's a great suggestion.
But Yeah, in saying that, what they're doing off the front here isn't really going to work. They kind of need to group back up together if A's are going to catch these ones ahead. Looks like, oh, there's lots of splintering going on in the Bs, but the Bs are 45 seconds ahead now of that A group. So the A's have pulled in a bit of time. They're looking all right.
Yeah, they need to get things back together here with this A category, though. I mean, literally, it's just 2 riders off the front now, and it's not like Fitzpatrick's even carrying. I mean, he's just like, come on. And the thing is that it was 700 meters before. It's still 600 meters. It looks like the B category have kind of ramped things up a little bit as far as the speed goes. We're seeing 49, 50 kilometers per hour, and we saw a little bit of instigation and chatter there coming from some of the B category riders to say, hey, we need to get things moving here. They're going to catch us. And it looks like they've done just that. Still, 700 meters. The B category is actually distancing themselves, I feel like. Maybe the A's have run out of some, a little bit of matches here with how hard they went early on.
Yeah, something's
they only
happened
have
to that
17
A-Cat.
riders. They only have 17 riders
Yeah.
versus, there's only so much power in every, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm seeing still 700. They're not closing any longer, it looks like to me.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick has dropped to the back as well, which is a bit strange. He's kind of pushing off the front and now at the back. He kind of, if he wants to really motivate this group, he needs to sit on the front at sort of a steady pace, but enough that everyone can hold on, not kind of be going up and down, because that's going to really burn some legs. I mean, I hate that in racing where people, put in heaps of surges. It just kills you. So, yeah, not so great from the A's there. I think that's almost potentially could have blown their chance to catch on to the Bs and Cs. The Bs and Cs are very close together. They're looking, it almost looks like the Bs are going to be unbeatable again. They've kind of got that nice arrowhead formation. They're riding like good group, few straggling off the back, which shows that the pace is really high. They're going over these little ramps, but coming up together. There's a lot of chat in the B group, especially from Dave on Twitch. So they're looking nice. I like how this B group's looking. I like the color too. Green is actually my favorite color. So it looks good. I think they could take this out. Seeing a couple of NZ Bro riders in there, which is good to see. They were racing in ZRL and I think looking pretty strong as well.
Moving forward, the C category almost within sight now, 13.2 kilometers covered. And the B category, I think, about to be seen here. 24 seconds is the difference between them, about 200 meters, almost within sight. Once they see them, that's really the carrot, and we're probably going to see some huge speeds. We do have a couple of flyers, though, off the front here in the C category. I think they can see the writing on the wall at this point. And so Weisbach and Trabanino saying, forget it, I'm out of here. Anna loves green. It's official. Arn Danielson is letting everybody know. As Trabino, though, is off the front with a little bit of Trabanino, 13.8. He's got a full 100 meters on the rest of the group saying, forget you guys if you're not going to give it a go. 180 beats per minute, though. With 10K to go, buddy, I'm not sure where you're heading. Where's that D category is what he's wondering.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's... I'm not a fan of the hero flyer moves in this kind of racing because it's all about staying with your group, at least until the last 2 kilometers, potentially. I think they've really got to go after these Ds, to be honest, because they're still really far away and they've got to get close enough when they approach that climb to be able to catch on. So, I mean, they're not going super fast, I've got to say. 37 versus about 41. It's still 3 kilometers.
They're just leaving Neokyo. I thought they were further out than that, but they're just leaving the Neokyo onto that little bit of dirt, as you can see here, for this D category. 17.5 versus, I mean, that's full 3 kilometers. That's a lot of distance.
Yeah, 3 kilometers and what this race is, give or take 25K. Oh, I almost think that's way too much, right? I mean, you've got to be going really, really quick to get that. I mean, I don't even think the climb in the way is going to hold back these Ds. Yeah, this
I'm not sure I broadcast
the
the D win. I'm not sure I've ever seen one actually yet. So good on the Ds here. We'll see if they can hold on. There's not a lot of riders, and it is going to be all about this climb. Tyler to the front, as you can see here. It's going to be McPhee, Giles, Good job, everybody, so far.
Oh,
They're just coming
yes.
in.
I think that's meant to say so far. Not good job, everyone's so fat. I think that was
So
an
far.
inadvertent
I
typo
think,
there.
yeah. Help,
I
Brown
meant to
is
say
saying
so
here.
far.
I love it how there's no waiting, Brown. Sorry, buddy. As he clicks over. Oh my gosh, the chatter.
Oh, this
Oh,
is
the D
hilarious.
chatter. Oh boy.
The D chat is great. Next level.
It is next level as we've got some really strong riders pulling through here, and I really love it that they might take this down today, but they do need to still win it. They did just have a little bit of conversation about, do we sprint against each other? So obviously some newer riders to the chase race. Yes, you definitely, it is one person wins on the day, but you still got to win this, and that was the chatter that came through in response. They still have to hold off the other riders. Don't start thinking about sprinting against each other just yet, but we still have the B and C category just starting to catch. It does look like the Bs have made the catches. I do see them jumping in amongst these Cs. 51 kilometers per hour, 15.7. They've only brought back, now that's 15.8, they have brought back 200 meters. That's only 200 meters, though, and that's a full kilometer that was covered with that 200 meters. This might be nearly impossible. The climb is really what's going to tell it to us, though, today.
Yeah, and the Bs and the Cs coming together is goodbye As. The As have no chance now of catching on to this massive group because, look, 48k an hour on the flat. I mean, yeah, they're not going to get on. The As too small. The Bs and Cs now, they have got to work together. And this is where we see them falter a little bit is we see it every week, actually. And you kind of see it here. They're spreading out just a little bit other than that flyer off the front, is that the Bs catch up to the Cs and then kind of go, we made the catch. And then just assume they'll catch the Ds. And each week, I mean, granted, they have, but I think this is looking a bit better for the Ds because they are already off into the Mercury Islands. They had about a 3-kilometer gap. They're going a lot slower, and there is a climb, but that's a lot of tarmac to make up.
We are getting, maybe a little bit of infighting here now. And this would be the place to do it as Reed heads off the front here because the climb, he could drop everybody and solo into the finish. A little bit of chatter from Tyler. They're saying B's caught the C's now. And, that group, if they stay together behind, they have better chances now. But Reed thinks that it's all his for the taking, it seems, as he kicks off the front with about 5.5 kilometers to go.
Yeah, and I'm actually seeing in the C's and B's group, we've got an attack coming off the front from T Irish from Rave On. So she is, I love this. Yeah, she is drilling it off the front with everyone coming behind. They're about to hit that dirt road. So
she's yelling at him.
She knows the game.
She's telling him to pick it up. Like, she says, pick it up, Bees. Let's go.
Yeah, because they got sucked into that problem again where they just slowed down when they made the catch and then kind of went, yay, we did it. We made one catch. Well, you don't need to make one catch. You need to make two. There's still a category up the road, guys. So good on Trish for getting them going, moving along. But just looking at their formation there, spreading across the road a lot, which just indicates the pack speed is slowing down. A little bit of a tip for ZRL. If you've been dropped off the pack, as I was yesterday, then you see the pack ahead spread across the road, put in a few hard pedal strokes for 10 seconds, you'll get back on guaranteed. So great, the pack dynamics, obviously you can tell when the pace comes off, which makes it really great for Zwift racing because you can just sort of get back on. Also great for the commentary because you can see when the pack starts to slow down and that motivation comes out of it, which is what we just saw. But now there's a few on the front, lifting it a little, back to 48k an hour.
Look at how fast that distance is coming down. It's down to 2K. That dropped real quick.
Yeah.
This is coming back.
D's are splintering
fast at this point. I don't know. I thought D's for sure, but this might be a lot closer than we think here at this point. Reed here now, it might be making things really difficult on the rest of the D's. Now Groves here looking to come across saying, okay, I think, yeah, they're infighting completely at this point. The D's are all in because I think they believe that there's some climbers amongst them that can just get the distance that's needed to win. And if they stick with the pack, they're not going to take this down. Here we go. Groves, as well as Reed now off the front, looking to work together And it's going to be Gertie's and the rest there, full 9 seconds back. 20.4 is the lead right now. 20.4, well, excuse me, now 20.5. So they've got over 100 meters on the rest. And they're completely splintered. This is every man, woman for themselves in this D category now.
Yeah, this isn't looking good for them, I've got to say, because I've got eyes on the B's and C's group, and they are climbing like they're riding on the flat. So just kind of shows, I think the D's are a little bit concerned. They've split off. I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot of draft up a 4% grade anyway, so it's not a huge deal, but it won't be great when they come off the climb a bit. And yeah, I think unfortunately I was really rooting for the D's. I really kind of want to see them take out a bit of a group win. But looking at this, look at that gap now. I mean, kind of coming to almost just a kilometer. I mean, yeah, that's dropping like a stone. And they're on that steep part now. Look at that pace difference, 21k an hour versus 32. Ouch.
It's going to be interesting to see how they take this on. They are just starting to climb. They're at the bottom of the climb that the D's are on at this point. We'll see who hangs on amongst this C category that have made it so far with these B's up to the front now. It's going to be Laughlin there. Clayson's there as well. We do see now in the rider nearby list, they're starting to see some of the riders that they're looking to catch there. Jones from Innovation now to the front. 5 watts per kilogram is probably around what they're going to, 4.5 to 5, what they're going to want to be climbing at to catch any of these D's. These D category riders, though, steady 3.3, 4.0 or so. If I were a D category rider, my main goal at this point would be to, obviously get as much landscape between me and that B category over the top and roll with speed on that downhill. There's going to be a huge sigh of relief if they got a good gap still once they hit, over the top of that climb.
I love that. One of the comments was push D's, let's regroup at 20. Don't think they're looking like they're going to regroup.
No, there's no regrouping in a chase race. Attacks in the B's. The B category is attacking itself. Full on. Christensen, DCC. This is 2 Christensens, actually. This has to be, they're both out of Denmark. I'm assuming they're in the same household or at least some sort of relation here. Perhaps they're both from the same team. Huge or something, maybe. But they went orange numbers, full gas, 3 off the front now. Laughlin from Coalition. Not expected. I thought they were going to work together for sure, but they are just all in saying, forget the rest of these B riders. We got to make this catch.
Wow, I thought they've got to be in the same house. That would be epic. I love it when people Zwift side by side. That's really cool. Someone let us know if you know this duo. One's on a faster little bike setup. One's on a somewhat climbing setup. So that's interesting. But yeah, it's that looks good. I like the Christensens. I never really like these hero maneuvers in a chase race, but you're on a climb where you can't really draft a whole lot anyway. And I think what happened is they saw the D little yellow spots in their right mat and they thought, let's just go get it now. We can catch up so much speed on these D riders on the climb. Let's look at the speed difference here coming past. Insane. That's, they're looking good. I like these Christiansen brothers. Let's just say brothers. That's quite a cool story if it is. This is good. They're looking good.
Now, the gap, though, okay, so 3K to go. 3K to go. They've got a 1K gap. And now the D's are on the downhill, though, at this point, 30, 40 kilometers per hour versus their 33. As you can see, they're obviously climbing way fast. This is almost 10, 13 kilometers per hour faster than what we saw from the D category. But they still got to get over the top and carry some speed downhill much faster than these D category riders. This is going to be really touch and go. The other thing is, was this effort even worth it? 14 seconds with how large that B category is behind them, they might not even hold on to that gap, and that power could have been used to still make the catch.
Just looking at the profiles of these riders, so Morten Christensen is a B rider, almost A, so that tells you that they're right at the top of that B category. Very high 5-minute power, pretty okay 20-minute power, so trying to see if they're brothers, but there's no info there. So someone let us know. They are from Denmark, ride for DC Cycling, FTP of 326, which is fairly reasonable. So yeah, looking good. They should, I think, catch up to this little, it's like the last men standing here though, with this last group of 4 Ds. It's just sort of like, are they going to make it? Not Sure. I mean, we're looking at what, about a 1 minute gap now between the Christensen Flyers and that DCAT. Looks like A Christensen has dropped M Christensen now, though. So if they are brothers and racing together in their household, that's going to create a little bit of a rift. There's about a 5-second gap now. One of them is completely, absolutely exploded. We've got A Christensen riding
Christensen's
5
going
watts a
backwards here at this
kg.
point. Yeah.
And then the second one riding at 2.6. Maybe it was a launch pad. Maybe just used the bro to launch him up the road and then keep on going. But still looking at a minute 20 for them to get up to those front Ds. The Ds, I mean, we've got 3 kilometers left. They could do it. About 4K left, sorry.
Looking through here, this is the A category. I'm just jumping in, and they are decimated on the left-hand side of the screen. I mean, completely decimated at this point. Nobody really together. Unwin, as you can see, Thompson. But they are coming over the top at 21.8. They're not. The B category is like right there. Like the B category just came through this section, actually. That's interesting to see. Fitzpatrick off the front here.
Oh.
I mean, what? I'm a little surprised by this.
Yeah, I think this is maybe what happens to the A's each week, which is why we don't see them winners. Maybe is there too much ego in the A's? You know, is it just?
Boy. I mean, I think they had to climb that fast. I think if they wanted to catch these boys up front, they just had to climb this fast. And I mean, Fitzpatrick is only 30 seconds behind that main B category at this point. I mean, it's too fast on the downhill to make the catch. They're probably doing 50 kilometers per hour through the same section. So it's going to be tough, but they obviously brought a lot of time back on that section as we move forward here with these B category riders. Christensen's actually caught, as you can see here, M. Christensen. Do we still have the other Christensen off the front
no,
there?
I've got eyes on. I got eyes on A. Christensen. He is 9 seconds ahead. Yeah. Wow. Still holding a solid 50k an hour, 5.4 watts a kg.
It's still 800 meters or so. Where is the finish line for this? They actually finish over. I'm going to double check this real quickly. Because I had 25k, but is it a little further than that?
Yeah, 25.9. So they kind of go up this climb and then they go round the little watery island bit, and then they sort of finish by the second lot of start pens. After they go over the water, over the little island in the middle, so the 2 bridges, then you're pretty much at the finish line. So they'll have a very, very slight downhill drag, which it looks, the Ds are about to finish, I think, looking at that mini map in the corner. Which means that this could be a D week.
They just took it down. They just took it out. I mean, now there's a little bit of infight happening here between them, and sure enough, D category opening up for their finish. Good on them. Dawson trying to take it down from the TFC. Will he be able to make this happen? It was L. Reed that made the initial. Dawson came across, and it looks like it's going to be Dawson, perhaps. And he did. I think he just took it down there. We do not have...
Shout out the Ds.
Yeah, Ds end up making it happen here as we look for the sprint for the top 10 now at this point. Now the question is, will the B category riders now take it out? Apologies not having the banner for you, everybody. We just had we had to sneak into these events, so we don't have a banner for you right this moment to see where exactly the finish line is. But that was definitely Dawson taking it out for the D category. I thought they were going to be caught with how quickly that was coming down, but no, ended up holding them off.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give team of the day to the Ds, obviously, but I was going to say rider of the day to Christensen here, but he split from his group. He didn't make the catch, so
he might even lose still here.
Maybe not.
Can he hold on?
Yeah.
They're coming fast. 12 watts per kilogram.
He'll get there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's just gonna barely make it happen here. But I mean they're right there. That was the finish line right there. So he actually did make it. We saw that was like right down to a half a second though. You see how fast those riders came flying by him?
Yeah.
That was real close.
Yeah, that was he almost made a bit of a tactical error there, just seeing the A's are coming across very shortly in their splintered formation with a few straggling B's in there.
I wanted to see if I could
find
Fitzpatrick after all of that work that was put in.
After all of that, he has been outsprinted by Newt from Belgium, who is
Really?
going
Oh
very,
my
very
goodness.
huge cadence of 130. Wow, that's pretty phenomenal. And I've just to harp back to, if everyone's interested in where my sprinting is at, because I've been getting
Well,
some
that's all we
tutorials.
think about. Like, I think everyone just
I know
thinks
it's
about
the whole
Anna's
audience
sprinting.
wants to know my
Like,
sprinting
when
journey.
I have my breakfast and coffee in the morning, the first thing I think, Anna, I wonder where her sprint is at. That's really what happens.
I know you think that. Yeah. So I'm actually, as well as Christina Grossman, who's probably one of the best sprinters in the game, we've got Michelle Ferris, who I've met on Zwift, who is actually an Olympic medalist. And she's going to give me a few workouts to do.
Yeah. Now, is this like a thing, like top secret? Like, what's happening? I remember we talked a little bit
Oh,
about
it's pretty
this.
secret. Yeah,
It's
I
pretty
know.
secret.
It's secret.
Okay.
We'll
It's
see.
top secret. Except we just told everybody about it.
I always forget that. I'm not going to tell anyone apart from everyone.
That was a lot of fun. Well, the D category pulled it off again. Great job to the D category out there. I'm going to double check and see if we have zone results or not real quick. If we do, we can go ahead and highlight what all went down today. It doesn't look like we do at this moment. So, but we will be back for the WTRL TTT. Phil Stapson, come on, Anna, spill the beans.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, this is great stuff.
I just love the comment above that we saw. Great race, so fat. You know, you love when a good typo comes on screen. That was the moment of the race. I love that. That was hilarious. And the Ds, love it. There's so much crowd support for the Ds. So, yeah, awesome they took it out. This is great. And it wasn't an invisible flyer this time. It was a legit win with a group. So,
it was
great job.
Yeah, that was a really legit win. And, you know, a little bit of frustration maybe amongst some of the other Ds when they went, but I think they had to because the rest of the D category got caught pretty quick. So good on those ones that saw the writing on the wall, went up the road, and ended up taking it down. So great job to the D category. If you want to jump into a chase race, there's a lot more happening throughout the day. It's every Wednesday. We'll be back for the team time trial tomorrow and more ZL racing next week. Thanks everybody for tuning in as always. Thanks Anna for the commentary. Make sure to hit those follow buttons, subscribe, do all those things, like, comment. It super helps. We just ticked over 11K over on YouTube. So thanks to everybody for that milestone. And we will see you tomorrow for the TTT as always. Right on.